It happened again, late 2 days in a row. Nobody notices, it's okay. Good morning, gang. Didn't oversleep, I was in the bathroom, if you need to know, running back to get here in time for 8 o'clock. Cool evening in Saxa this morning. Very cool. It's a bit overcast. It's not going to be one of those sweltering hot days. You've got the door open again. We'll hear some background sounds, whatever's going on. It's Monday morning. The last stream of our week. My weekend's Monday evenings, obviously. So. Okay, you know what I'm doing? It's back to the hair. I'm not sure how far we'll get. Probably get this long tail done. Part of these circles, I guess. We'll see how we go. If I can not get distracted too much. Let's get started. Didn't really need to know. So today's Monday, it'll be a normal staffing day today, and here in the shop with me today it's going to be Kawai-san will be back in, and then the Monday regulars, it'll be Doi-san, the older gentleman who works with me, and his daughter, Chihiro-san, she'll be here. It's light parties today, I think there's only 2 parties scheduled. It's really actually finally starting to quiet down a little bit. Well, every time I say that, it just bounces back. There's a bit of news on the media front. I know it's too soon to tell you certainly what's going to happen on this, but there's been some people sniffing around and talking to me the last few days in preparation for a TV program. And it's changed. They phoned us last week. It's some variety program on a Japanese satellite channel. And it's a person, he'd been here before with a different program, seeing our work, and then now he's changed his job, he's on a different program. But because he knew about us, he recommended this to the program producers, and one thing led to another, and they want us to appear in a corner on their variety program. 5-minute spot, 6-minute spot, whatever. But the plan is morphing and changing as they go along, and yesterday he sat down with some different news. The original plan was to have us here, or to come and see us, as I said, as part of a variety program. They're doing something on Asakusa or Tokyo or something, I don't even know the background. And they would come here and do some video and chat with us and take a 5 or 6 or 7-minute video. And then back at the studio in live, there's a guest panel watching different videos. And the guest panel watches the videos and chats and talks about it. It wouldn't just be us, it would be the next door neighbor and somebody else in Asakusa and somebody else making up the program. We've done this before quite a number of times. It's no big deal. It's fun, but whatever. But he's been here now 3, 4, 5 times, I guess he's come back doing his research for this program. And that's too many times for a simple, short spot on a variety program. It's usually 1 day for the research, ask questions, find out what's here. They make their plan, they come back, they film it, and bing, it's all done. But he got kind of interested in what he was learning here, bit by bit. He chatted with me, how'd you get started in printmaking and blah, 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 blah. And he came back a few more times than was justified for this. So I said, let's do this or not. Please don't waste too much of my time. I've spent now about 3 hours in total talking to you. That's more than we should have taken for filming the whole program. And he's like, yeah, I know. But what's happened is the producer has heard some of the things we've said and talked about in some of the research I've done. And he said, we're now thinking of switching. And he said, we're going to drop you from that program. We're not going to put you in that program along with the 4 or 5 other people. He said, we're now thinking of doing a separate program for Mokohankan. And I'm like, yeah, and this is what he told me yesterday. I'm saying, give me more details. What are you talking about? And he said, well, we're thinking of doing a 1-hour program. How about you guys? So nothing is stable, nothing is finalized. It's still very much a thing that's cooking in their executive suite. But the boy has now come back 5 times. He's got a total of about, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours of chat with me. He's been recording this as he goes, as he talks with me. He holds a little handheld camera and he records it all of our casual conversation, and takes it back to home base, and they look at this and think about it and look for ideas for a program. And part of it is overlaid with that video I made last week, which talked about my beginnings here. And he'd been asking some of the same questions. So I said, look, just go watch the YouTube video. Just watch the video we put up, and that'll answer a bunch of your questions. So yesterday when he came back, he had watched that video. And it seems they're planning now, if it comes off, they'll want to be here filming extensively. If this thing does go ahead, they'll want to film extensively here in the next couple of weeks. Because to make a 1-hour program is a big deal. It's quite a big deal. It'll take a lot of time and effort on our part too. So we'll see. I'm not trying to tease you, I'm just describing what's happened. And this may happen, it may not happen. But given the time that they've invested in it already, it looks like it might happen today. Mixed feelings, and it's a huge investment of time. It'll take all kinds of time for us. Doing the same kind of thing we've done a million times before, Where did you first see Japanese woodblock prints? It's okay, that's part of the job. You have to be friendly and answer and have a good conversation, But the downside is it's a cable channel. It's not general broadcast. It's not one of the networks here. And the networks here are still big. I don't know how it works in North America or Europe or whatever. It seems to me the networks over there are sort of dying and cable is taking over, and Netflix and whatever. But here, I know the networks are still king. There is internet broadcasting, there is cable, but networks are king still here. And this is a cable, so it won't get all that wide broadcast. It's cable/satellite. So, what have we got? Okay, I see a quote. I'm not getting what's going on. Dave, is your registration chisel the same as your clearing one? No. The registration chisel, this is a special tool. This is not a carver's tool. Oops, where am I? The registration chisel is not a carver's tool. I've only got one in my toolbox because I'm a printer. Well, carvers do sort of sometimes use it. Printers use it for cutting the registration marks. Carvers usually just draw them and just leave them sitting there. And we never use it for clearing. It's like a woodworker's chisel. It's square, it's straight, it's flat. It's never used for scooping on the block and clearing. It's only used for cutting the registration marks. It's much more similar to a normal woodworker's chisel. It's not a clearing chisel at all. It's got to be sharp, clean, and straight. And all printers have one, and carvers sort of have one for general use. Did you see me using a flat one for clearing yesterday? Maybe which one was I using? This one? I have a wide ice skid. This is not part of the traditional toolbox. I used this yesterday. I used this quite a lot, actually. Is this the one you're thinking of? It's not the registration chisel because it doesn't have a straight edge on top. Or did I cheat? Did I actually use my kentonomi and try and scoop something out? I don't know. Who knows? The evidence is in the tape. This is fun carving, you know, these curves are just fun. It's one of the most pleasant parts of the job. We were carving all those dots, textures, and, you know, dots and dots. They were no fun so much. But this kind of stuff is classic carving. Smooth, long curves, classic carving. The most fun. I could do this all day with no complaint. The TV guy yesterday, you know, sitting and chatting after the shop left, he'd been trying to sort of semi-interview me and talk to me all day long, but so many people were in the shop, we'd sit and talk for a minute, he'd put his camera on, and people come in, bang, bang, bang. So he was kind of frustrated, but whatever, that's life here. So he ended up staying later after the shop was closed. We kept it open late at night, but there wasn't so many people in, so he was sitting talking to me at 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock. And then there was a bunch of Yahoo auctions last night. There was a whole bunch of woodblock prints up on Yahoo auctions last night. And I missed all of them. And some of them, because I passed, I looked at the web page and thought there was too much danger of foxing, and so I wouldn't bid very high, stuff like that. But a couple of them I really wanted, and busy talking to this guy, and I, oh, no, wait a minute, get back auction, but oh, too late, it's gone. So at one point I missed the first one. I was really quite frustrated, so I, middle of chatting with this guy, said, just wait a minute, just sit down, shut up for a minute. And I got my alarm clock out and set the alarm clock for the next auction. I made a note on a piece of paper what times these auctions finished: 9:15, 9:21, 9:37, 9:42, 10:12, that kind of stuff. You know? So all during the rest of our talk for the rest of the evening, the alarm kept going off. I jumped back to the machine to do a bid on some auction. But because I was distracted and talking to him, I couldn't focus properly. And there was one bunch, a set of 7 Tanzakuban from Hiroshige, and it looked like they might have been actual originals. Certainly early Meiji, possibly originals. I couldn't tell from the one. And I missed it. I was chatting with this guy, getting ready to put my bid in and whatever, just this goes by, and I missed it. And somebody else scored it for about $300, and they were just beautiful old Meiji prints. And as I said, possibly originals. It's more one of the top 10 auction things that's going to come up this year. And I got involved with chatting with this guy and missed it. It was not a good evening last night for auctions in general. Some of the stuff, there was a nice Adachi set that we would have loved to get to put in the shop, but they were just too foxed. There was a close-up photograph of 1 or 2 of them, and the description says, here and there is some foxing, and we've learned what that means is they're foxed top to bottom. Most of the auctions these days, it used to be more random what day of the week they are on, and now Sundays is the big auction day here. I don't know why Yahoo Auctions has done this, but they've got a campaign going where if you make bids and stuff on Sundays, you get a chance to join a lottery and win a prize and something. And it's screwed up the whole system, because now that it's quiet other days of the week, and everything happens all at the same time on Sunday evening. I think it's a real mistake on their part, but I don't know why they've done that. Maybe Sundays was too light and they're trying to boost it, but now it's made it much more difficult to participate. Everything happens all at the same time. Not to mention your budget, you know, you can save up and stuff. You'd like to have the payments spread out. But everything happens all at once. And there's no feedback. You're trying to write to them or talk to them. It's impossible. I heard a question, but let me finish this. I can't just cut in the middle of one hair, cut and run to look at the questions. Hang on a sec. Also, I did get a chance to go back over yesterday's stream. During the chat yesterday, there was discussion about this original print, the Octopus print, as to whether this scene is taking place on land or underwater. I think this came up yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to see if there was a consensus. Was there any consensus about that? Is there something in the picture that will give us a clearly defined answer? Is it on land? Is it on land, or is it underwater? I myself was very surprised to hear the suggestion that it could be underwater, because I'd always just mentally assumed that this was a normal scene in the real world. Come on, cloth. Okay, let's see what the question was. Questions. Wow. Okay, excuse me a minute here. What have we got? Stream resolution controls are back. I haven't changed anything at this end at all. I haven't done anything to do at this end. I haven't changed anything. You're asking about the prototype tool set I made. That was the spring of 2012. The project went to sleep because two things: we ran out of money, ran out of time, and Ukiyo-e Heroes came along right at that time, spring of 2012. The project is still sleeping, but it's now coming a bit closer to the surface, and Aoyama-san and I want to rejuvenate it. We've recently been building the shop. Now he's renovating the second floor. At some point we will come back and try that. We really want to have good tools. So soon, no, but it's not dead. It's not buried, it's just sleeping. What's the next question? The print that was made up of lines whose varying thickness made up the image. Yes. Did you make more than one? No, I just did that one. Well, I'll find the link here. The one he's talking about is... Just a sec, I'll find the link. Here, it's in this series. This is the series that's sleeping. It's my current subscription series. Ha ha ha. In that series, I think it's print number 7 or something, is the one he's talking about with a single line. It's an entire print made up of a single carved line. What else? Save myself a lot of money. Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Well, bidding bot. There are bidding bots, of course. I know. The thing is, in Japan here, there's no sniping on Yahoo auctions. On eBay, there's sniping. You can just wait till the last second, put in your max bid, and bang, you're done. But on Yahoo, it doesn't work like that. There's no sniping. Every bid extends the auction a bit more. So you can't just simply do the max bid and see what happens. There's another reason she can't breathe. Yes, I guess so. Could you beta test my tool set? It doesn't exist yet. We've got the mock-up here. It's not a mock-up. It's not a bunch of tools that actually can go onto a desk and be used. So please, just let me sleep on that. That's going to come at one point. Let me get to the question box here. Do I leave a bit of supporting wood on the opposite side of the block to registration mark in the corners? This is an interesting question. Supporting wood. I know I need a block that I'm finished. It depends. So he's asking, I should zoom out, I guess, whatever. Registration mark is here. The other mark is here. I know. As it happens, this particular design doesn't take up anything but the center, so there's bare wood left in the other corners. So yeah, there's supporting wood. The paper goes on. We don't want the paper to be droobling and flattening all over the place. The paper, we want it to stay smooth and flat. So any area in the corners where we're not printing, yes, we'll leave wood for supporting. If the design, like this one, if the design comes close to the corner, look what I've done. I've left a bit of supporting wood here. But you got to be careful, because the printer has to be careful not to smash this, not to put pigment on it, and not to smash it. And sometimes when the design is too close to the corners, there's no choice, it has to come off. And the reason this is sometimes a problem is if we're using the other side of the block. If we're flipping it over, the block is then missing its corners, it doesn't sit there, it rocks and rolls, and you have to put stuff underneath it to shim it while you're printing. So in general, yes, we like to leave supporting wood in the corners. Sometimes, no, it's not possible. Again, there's no rules. Don't ask me for the official way of doing this. Just follow your own common sense as to what you have to do to get this thing to work. Yeah, subscribe to that series. It has no meaning. I'm not doing it. What can I say? It's been 4 years now since the last print went out. And just absolutely, I can't say. The ultimate goal would be that when we have enough staff here at Mokohankan, and when I can get back to my bench to do personal work, I would continue that series and finish it. I really, really, really want to do that. But I can't in any conscience open it up for subscriptions now, because I just don't have any time to do that. I shouldn't have started it. If I had known what was going to happen in the spring of 2012, Ukiyo-e Heroes, I would of course have never started that series. But I didn't know. I started it with the best of intentions. Dave's next series, and the money from it was going to be used to finance a couple of new workers here, young apprentices. The crows, or a crow, is busy out there this morning. Oh, a different sound this morning. Do you hear the little bell? The little sizzle? It's kids. So the Hoikwan, the daycare center, the kindergarten up the street must have started up again. It's Monday, the last full week in August. The kids have been off, so there's been no children out on the street here going. But now I hear kids walking by, so I guess the kindergarten's up and running again. Garbage pickup. This is not the main city garbage, this is a private garbage company. The city garbage collection is free for residents, like household garbage they put out in bags on the right days and it gets picked up for free. If you're a business, as we are, the pickup is not free. You have to buy stickers. You go to the convenience store and you buy stickers. A sticker for a 10-liter bag, a 20-liter bag, a 45-liter bag, whatever. And when the bag is placed outside a business place, as we do with ours, it needs the sticker to be picked up. And it's fairly expensive. The stickers cost about 300 or 400 yen each for the 45-liter bag. So if you've got 2 or 3 bags, it's like $12 to get the garbage picked up. So we're okay, we go with that because we don't have a whole lot of garbage. We've just got, office garbage and this and that, and sometimes a few wood chips or something. We don't have an extensive amount of garbage. But places like the restaurant next door, they've got tons and tons of garbage. They've got oyster shells and this and that and all kinds of stuff. And it would be insanely, prohibitively expensive for them to use the city garbage collection service with the stickers on it. I mean, they've got buckets and buckets and buckets of stuff out there. So they contract with a private garbage supply company. That's probably not cheap either, but I guess when you work it out for a business like theirs, it's cheaper than using the city system with stickers. So that's what you're hearing there, that noisy one. And the private companies are really rough people, probably as in most major cities in the world, New York or wherever. The garbage collections are run by some generally not quite so savory people. And the whole business is a really rough business. So we don't use them. We stick with the city garbage collection because the amount that we put out is almost nothing. The other thing about those private garbage collections is we haven't heard too much of those here because they don't usually come during the daytime. They come at night. The garbage has to be put out in bags and locations, whatever. And like 2:30, 3:30, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, whatever time it is, the truck comes roaring down the street. And it's this rough, bleached hair, perm kid driving the truck. He guns it down the street, hits the shovel to scoop up the bag, gang noise. It wakes up the entire district for miles around. He revs up his engine and drives along again. So if you're a light sleeper, you'd be in real trouble sleeping on this street. Because you just get back to sleep and another garbage truck comes along. So, I mean, it's a commercial district, so it's no big deal. But actually, in real life, there's people living up above most of the shops. And the hotel across the street, I'm sure it has heavily soundproof windows. They couldn't operate any other way. Yeah, garbage trucks. The city guys are super. They wear uniforms, they're quiet, they run, they jog down the street next to the truck. They're civil servants. They've got they're a lucky position. You know, people fight to get civil service jobs, and these guys have got a sinecure. So, and they work hard and polite and clean. But the private garbage companies are something else entirely. Do I do public events? Would I show these preschoolers what I do? Good Lord, no, I know. Our life now is just full with doing this. I know back when I was a family guy, I had no company to do this. Working by myself, I did school demos and that kind of stuff all the time. All the time. Not just from my own kids' school, but all over the place. I took invitations and went here and went there and give speeches and did that for kids and everywhere. Now, no. I know I'm not, the best way for me to use my time, value-wise to use my time to bring woodblock printmaking into the world is to do exactly what I'm doing. Set up this company, make it stable, make it strong, and keep publicly showing what we do. I'm reaching far more people these days through YouTube and running the shop and Twitch than I would ever have done by going to a bunch of local school kids and showing what I do. So these days, no, I don't do that stuff anymore. But I did when I was a daddy and when I was a single sole proprietorship before we did this as a company, and in general before social media. The print parties we do, they got their roots in the things we used to do at the local community center. In Japan, there's what's called a bunkasai, culture festival, in every community every fall. It might be in October or November, after the weather has cooled down, the hot summer is over. Every community, every school has a bunkasai, culture festival. And the local one where I used to live in Hamura town asked me more, about 30 years ago, whatever it was, could I do a woodblock printmaking workshop for kids as part of the culture festival? And I did. I did it for, 10, 15 years in a row. Every year I carved a new set of blocks, put them on a long table, got some other kids to help me, and we did a print your own print thing. A miniature version of what we do here is the print parties. That's how the print party concept got started, actually. And I did that for year after year after year after year after year. I left it after my own kids grew up and I became less involved with the community and more involved with actually running this business and running this company. It is very quiet up there today, isn't it? Not so many sounds to talk about. Monday morning, it's the quietest day of the week in Asakusa. The weekend is, lots of revelers, lots of drinking, lots of partying. And Monday is generally quiet for us. Very quiet chat today. Good. Just watch. Where everybody's gone to sleep. that a garbage truck? I'm not sure. It's a bit of a random type sound. Oh, look who's here. Is it that time already? Wow. Look who's here. Cameron's Anne after a long, hard weekend of doing nothing.
That's what I do always.
How's the family?
Oh, good. Everyone's healthy, no more throwing up kids or anything.
We don't need to go there.
How are things here? Busy?
Yeah, of course. Busy. Very busy. Both the people in the shop and the sales. It's French week again still. That KLM, Air France deal.
Wow. A lot
still
more
just
people.
paying off. It's just French people wall to wall.
Wow.
The parties for Wednesday, there's 3 parties scheduled. They are all from France. Audrey is just going,
That'll be great.
It's great. So.
おはようございます。
すぐさん、ちょっと、すぐさん。E メールをちょっと遅く見たんですね。
本当ですか？
申し訳ないんですが、いや、
でも
着いた。だけど出た。6時半ぐらい撮ったんです。
ありがとうございました。そうなんだ。
月曜日危ないでしょ？来週
そう、来週と今週で。
Come and say hello. Come and say hello. Don't just do it.
そうだ。どこだ？おはようございます。イエーイ。ありがとうございました。
Sugi-san was afraid because it's Monday. Sometimes the schedule gets a bit mixed up, and they forget to put their schedule a week in advance. So she sent me a panicked email. It was kind of panicked at about 7:30, just before I started the stream. Said, "I forgot to put my yellow dot on, so please take my paper out." You know? And I had already done it because I knew what was happening today, so it was out. So
Got it. That's good.
You gonna take the machine here from me for a little bit? I don't know if there's any new faces here. People who don't know who you are or something. I don't know. No idea what's going on. It's a pretty quiet stream. There was a bunch of questions. Then I turned to Carve, and like 10 minutes later I turned back, and there's nothing. I thought it was broken.
It hasn't moved.
So they've been pretty quiet and well behaved as usual. So
that's funny. Good morning.
For those of you who don't know, this is Cameron, one of our workers, one of our worker bees here. Whatever.
Worker bees.
There is some news, sir. I was chatting with the stream people about it. Were you in on that thing the last few days? I think when you were here, the guy from that TV program has been hanging around doing preliminary interviewing for the program. Whatever. The idea was to give us a 7-8 minute spot, whatever, do some VTR here. Yeah. And I'd go down to the studio and sit with the guests and chat about it. He's been back 5 times now. Yesterday he was here morning. He left at 10. In the evening, 10 p.m. And I'm doing Yahoo auctions, and he's giving me questions and whatever. He's friendly. But what's happened is from the execs upstairs have sort of changed. He's brought them back so much material. Yeah. They've cut us from that program.
and given you a full one.
They wanted a 1-hour special.
Oh my goodness.
It's not decided yet. It's not, he's still doing more research, trying to see if they've got enough material to get a 1-hour special.
They want to make that happen. Wow.
Yeah, well, it's good news, but it's broadcast, it's BS TV. Yeah. It's satellite TV, which is like 1 in 1,000 person has, or 1 in 100, or whatever. I don't even know, whatever.
That's funny, because the same thing happened with, was it Yoji Goji Days? They said,
we'll
give you 7 or 8 minutes.
Right. We took over the whole program.
Yep, and then they gave you the entire episode. They didn't give you an hour, though. This is even bigger.
But I say it's like 1 hour, but it's a commercial program.
Yeah, so it'll be 40 minutes.
40 minutes, exactly. So, so with TV commercial breaks and stuff. Yeah.
Is it still going to be some live stuff in the studio and some stuff here?
No, because it's changed the format. It's all up in the air. So they're trying to decide what to do, whether to put it in. Maybe they have another different program that we would get 1 episode of, or they would do some about us. Yeah, I don't know. So it's all up in the air.
Huh. Gordon Gami noticed. Yes, BSTV. Nice acronym. Yes. So they have a news channel called BS News, and I just think that's the funniest. Trust us. It's not all BS.
It's the real thing, It's called, I've got their flyers in that stack there somewhere. This says right at the top, BS TV. When you first see it, it's just so funny. Yeah. And they don't get it.
Yep, there it is.
I think years ago, they were here for something else. I started laughing when the guy gave us it. He said, "What's so funny? What's so funny?" I couldn't explain. He said,
I just can't trust you guys. Yeah, this one says BS Japan.
So that's the program schedule for what the original idea was, but now it's...
Watashi ga Nihon ni sumu ryu. Why do I live in Japan?
So. Japanese just can't get enough of those programs. You know, it's so bizarre.
It is.
Can you imagine an American company making a program, going out to visit like somebody from Japan who's living in America? Why do you live in America? I mean, just the whole idea is just so bizarre. So,
it would be immediately slammed for being racist.
They can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
日本人が気づかなかった日本の素晴らし
exactly,
さがあっ
exactly.
た。
So it's the well, no, I mean you can psychoanalyze this. It's because of the insecurity here, the national insecurity. Still, after all these years, and Japan is becoming a global, cultural superpower.
Yeah.
You know, all the anime and everything else, and ukiyo, you name it. There's still a vivid insecurity. Not in each individual person, but in the culture as a whole.
Yeah.
And they need to be reinforced by the outside world. Oh yeah, you're okay.
That's exactly what John Becker just said. He said, "My theory is Japan has a massive inferiority complex.
So it does. This is known.
Needs constant reassurances
exactly,
that they're cool."
Exactly. But it's still there after all these years. I get it when they came out of isolation and they were still feudal and they could see there was such a thing as the modern world with like battleships and newspapers and whatever you name it. So I get it. At that moment, I could see the insecurity. Yeah. But for it to be still here in the culture,
years later.
I don't get it. But like I said, it's the gift that just keeps on giving. Because I'm the foreigner who is saying to them, "Oh, this is wonderful." And they're just lining up to hear that again and again and again and again.
Yep. That last one that I read, I didn't give a translation. It's the wonderfulness of Japan that even the Japanese people don't know about.
I'm laughing, but we're here making a living at this.
Yep.
Well, we are and we aren't. Because remember, we don't sell in Japan. What is it, 97% or something goes overseas?
Some absurd percentage.
So it's a real paradoxical situation.
Yeah.
You know. They talk to us and they listen to us and they take their secure thing from me, but they don't buy my stuff.
Yeah. We're so glad that you love Japan so much. Please sell our products elsewhere. So, Japanese themes abroad. No.
Give me a break. A 1-hour TV special. Where else in the world would what we do get that kind of attention? And it's not the first time even. My God, it's not the first time at all.
No.
It'd be like the third 1-hour program, I think.
Yeah.
Usually they're 20, 15, 20-minute documentaries. We've had 2 1-hour documentaries, and this might be the third one, I guess.
Did you see this question? It was just before I came in, it looks like. It says, do you do public events in your local area?
Yeah, I talk
okay,
about it. I used to
right.
when I was younger and when I had a family and stuff like that. Now my benefit to society now is not going to chat to 15 little school kids who are not interested. Yeah. My benefit to society is in different ways. You know, building and strengthening this company. There's ways to use your time sensibly. Yeah. And at my current stage of life, speaking to children's groups is not it. So that's my point anyway. So if it sounds a little bit unfriendly and uncooperative, I've been there and paid those dues and done that many times.
Question, how's the reprinting of The Wave coming along? It's coming along. We've pretty much always got a batch getting printed.
So exactly, there's a batch up now. Over the weekend there was, did you sense a dozen or so new requests? The waiting list is built up again. But we're doing well. We are actually working on that mailing list. It's not an endless mailing list, waiting list that you will never get on.
Right.
Because a lot of people put their name on the waiting list, but when it comes, the email comes as we're ready, they no longer perhaps feel they wanted it. It was an impulse purchase. So if you have an interest in it, put your name on the waiting list. It's not an endless, never going to happen thing.
Yeah.
It'll be a couple of months or something like that.
But, see you after the Olympics kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you've got to wait until after the Olympics. It's not that long anymore. We've pretty much almost caught up, but it grows and then
it goes
get a
in
batch
batches,
and we're
yes,
almost
so
done
exactly,
and then it grows. So. We're close. Neutron Star says, "Is this the regular streaming time? It's 2 a.m. here. Sad face."
Sorry, guys. Yeah, that's the way the globe is structured. That's where we are, and that's where you are.
Yeah.
Not much I can do about that.
So move to Japan, you'll have it at a nice time.
And in case he doesn't know, they are archived in 2 ways.
Mm-hmm.
Here on the Twitch channel, they're archived for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then I believe the fans are still, I don't see this actually happening, but I believe they're still going up to YouTube. I'm not really quite sure. On a separate YouTube channel.
Yeah.
They're not on our own YouTube channel, but they're on a fan channel. But if you want the companionship and the liveness, what can I say?
Going to bed late. Not sure how to read that one. It says, "Feels like you're only working in Japan to make the products for us Westerners more authentic."
I'm working in Japan because I live here. This is my home.
Yeah.
I moved to Japan about 30 years ago. There's nothing. I got a static on that on the YouTube channel. Somebody a couple of years back made that kind of comment. Look at this guy. He's pretending to be Japanese. He's sitting in front of a fake shoji screen. I'm like, I was sitting in front of a shoji screen because that was the window in my home that had a shoji screen on it. So I don't know what to say about that. I know it's the cultural appropriation thing, I guess, in disguise. I live here. This is my home. I emigrated here. I didn't know I was emigrating at the time. I came to see how long I could stay. I put down some roots. My roots are now pretty much firmly established here. I'm not Japanese. I don't pretend to be Japanese. I'm, what's the word? Acculturated or integrated, I guess, whatever word. And all my staff, with one exception, who we're looking at, are all Japanese.
2. We've got Audrey as well. Remember, French Day on Wednesday.
Anton and Dayton. I guess, okay,
yeah.
whatever. Yeah, sorry. Well, whatever. Point at me, it's not a factor for us. Whatever. So I don't know how to respond to that. I feel is it authentic? What's the word? I don't feel authentic. I feel normal. Whatever. This is who I am and what I do. So interesting. But hey, if you're going to cynical viewpoint about it, yeah, Dave is here because he gets that media attention, which I wouldn't get back in Canada. I don't know. Is that why I'm here? I don't think so. I just love this place. It's just so much fun living here.
Yeah.
Why are you here, Cameron? I mean,
I think the same thing. I just loved it. It was fun to be here.
But most people in your, can I say this without being insulting, of your type, the people who came here, the reason you did, you came here for a 2-year mission or whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Actually, no, I didn't do that one.
You didn't do your mission here? Oh,
No, I did it in Hawaii, speaking English and stuff. So
I've just... Jed's the one who did his mission. Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. And so
So how did you end up here? Remind me.
My great-grandpa taught English 100 years ago in Kagoshima. And...
Wait a minute, your roots are deeper than mine?
Yeah. And he left behind a journal that I thought was really, really interesting. And so ever since I was pretty young, I've had an interest in Japan.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that, have you got that like online or something, or accessible, or would it be something that other people have an interest in?
A few copies just around other family members, but it's not.
Why not scan it, and wouldn't there be interest in it?
There probably would be, but I don't know. It's
Well,
got some private-y stuff too.
Well, you could leave those pages out. The reason I ask is because our family actually has a similar situation. I know my mother, she'll be listening, she can tell the story.
Yeah.
I know her step-grandfather, I got to get the dates right. My mother was born in 1927. Oops, whatever.
Oops.
Okay, whatever. We know the situation. She's my mother. And there was in the house a typewritten journal of a young man who had been part of the British army that went to South Africa for the Boer War.
Wow.
So this would be it could be her stepfather or her step-grandfather. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I don't know. She would maybe come in and tell us if she's listening.
Yeah.
And it was like a 50-page typescript on this really onion skin, typed on a typewriter.
Wow.
And he typed that, I guess, when he was in South Africa or whatever.
Yeah.
No, he stopped in South Africa, going to India. He was going to India as part of a normal thing. British Army was part of India. So, and he took like a 6 or 7 or 8 week voyage in this coal-fired ship to go from Britain down around Africa, stopping at South Africa, back up to India.
Wow.
And they went across the equator and people died and the ship's doctor killed himself and they put him overboard in a sewn up bag, and he's got
Oh
all
my
these
gosh.
stories. And the guys would do things on deck and play games.
Yeah.
And it's a hugely interesting journal
Yeah, that
snapshot
sounds
of a young British Army recruit on his way to India.
Wow.
Then when he gets to India, what they did. Anyway,
Yeah.
this ended up in my mother's possession.
Huh.
I guess, through family pastimes,
Yeah.
whatever. And it was in the house when I was a kid, and I'd read it now and then, and wow, this was so cool.
Yeah.
And what happened was, at some point when she thought, what am I going to do with this? So she contacted some local historical society in Britain, or the Army Historical Memorabilia, or whatever. I don't even have any idea. And they went crazy. Oh my God, we're desperate for stuff like this. First person.
Accounts of this period,
And they took it from her as a treasure, an absolute treasure. She made it. I think she kept a photocopy,
right?
So she's still got a photocopy of it. So it was, what she thought was just whatever. This was an interesting curiosity, and I found it turned out to be something that they felt really had value.
Yeah.
So the same, you're talking about your grandfather teaching English in Kagoshima in the 1870s?
No,
whatever.
1905 to 1915. Okay. So.
There you are.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
He was like the third Westerner in the city. He talks about meeting these
Cameron,
people.
that's
It's
got
really cool.
to be of historical interest.
It's super cool. So I don't think we have the original copy because he himself wrote an autobiography shortly before his death, and
so he had the source material. Okay.
It's about 300 pages, and the middle 100 pages of it are all of his time in Japan.
So you've got what? You've got a photocopy of this typeset, or it must be typed out. Or is it
was,
handwritten?
and then it's been entered into a computer and or printed out. So it's really cool.
Well, whatever, that would make a cool blog or something. Nothing to do with us here at Mokuhankan, but there must be places that are really interested in that.
Yeah.
Was this related to the church?
No,
connection.
Nothing. Yeah. So I've long had an interest in Japan. I guess the earliest connection would be him. But,
Oh, interesting. Even maybe down in Kagoshima, the people in that area, the local historical society, or the...
I just got in contact with them 2 weeks ago.
There you go. This is in English, of course, right? This thing?
Yeah, his book is in English. But I'm trying to see if they have any other pictures or anything, because he has a few pictures in it. Some old photographs. But
this sounds good. This sounds good. We'll make a book.
Yeah, he taught at two middle schools, which are both still open. They've changed into high schools now, but they're still there.
There's got to be interest in this, absolutely.
I'm trying to
Okay.
get something with it, so it's a lot of fun.
I mean, if you imagine that being translated into Japanese, having a good bunch of photographs, it could be a book published here in Japan. It could actually have quite a lot of interest in it. So, without being not venal about this, you can publish this and make something of this.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
Do you know where his grave is and stuff like that, or back in?
Back in the U.S.
Yes. Yeah. But you know where it is. You could put it as an epilogue to the book and blah blah blah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He was an interesting guy. He was the dean of English at Northwestern University in Chicago.
Oh, so he's got credit then from that point of view, Japanese point of view. He's a real scholar. Okay. Yeah. Do this thing, Cameron. Do this. You've got enough free time.
It's been really nice working with you.
I didn't mean during the day.
Okay.
I meant after 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
When you disappear from here. That's what I meant.
Got it.
Just to make it so that I wasn't misunderstood.
Yeah.
Some of us don't have that kind of free time.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Treadmill 2 says, people interested in early foreigner visits to Japan should read The Incredible Lady Isabella Bird. Have you heard of that?
The most famous.
I don't know that one.
Absolutely most famous. Oh, you read it now and you think, that could not happen. She must have made this up. It's incredible. She went, the guy here can tell you. Single woman traveling in Japan up to Hokkaido.
Wow.
And in the days when there was nothing, there was no... And she must have been a visitor from Mars when she dropped into some of these communities.
Oh, I'm sure.
And she was a lady traveling as a lady, with big skirts and just... It's just insane when you read what she did. It's just absolutely insane.
Wow.
It sounds like something made up. Just it couldn't happen, but
Yeah.
it's there. She actually did that stuff.
Ah, your mother jumped in. She said the Army Museum was very pleased when I gave them the account. It was unusual for an NCO to have kept a written story of his adventures.
So one of the rank and file guys,
Yeah.
rather than the officers. Yes.
Right.
Oh,
That's so cool.
Do you have a copy of it still? Because I don't think I do it. It would be fun to read it again. Now I'd have to apply to the museum to get a chance to read it. So
Yeah.
has she got a copy in her file? So I think she might do.
See if she jumps in again. Now makes music. Hi, I'm Japanese, and it's great to see a stream coming from Japan. It's great to have a Japanese person in the stream.
How can you arrange it at this time of day?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be on your way to work or something.
Your mother does still have a copy.
Okay, good. So next time I'm over there to see her. Because it's been a million years since I've read it.
Yeah.
Some of the story was strange. I mean, the one episode that sticks in my mind was the fact that the ship's doctor actually cut his own throat.
Wow.
And I guess in those days it was a big deal because you got like 5, 6, 7, a couple thousand guys on a boat. People are sick all the time, and for them to not have a doctor all of a sudden.
Yeah. Wow.
And I don't remember the details, whether it was he went crazy from the heat or something.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about a coal-fired ship going down across the equator, around South Africa, back up, and in the summertime, I guess, I remember like they're up on deck throwing water from buckets on each other to try and survive.
Yeah.
Sweltering.
Oh.
And you imagine the guys in the bottom of a ship like that. People are shoveling coal into furnaces like 24 hours a day to make these ships move. There's these giant furnaces, and what they call the navies, whatever, the guys downstairs, just shoveling coal. It must have been a living hell for the people that had to make those things run. And whole armies and navies worked that way. The First World War era, they were coal-fired battleships. Wow. There must have been 1,000 guys underneath there shoveling all this coal in.
Yeah.
It's incredible to think of. People built such machines. This guy wasn't part of that crew. He was up on deck. He was a passenger. They were taking the army out to India. And it wasn't all that long ago. It's like this would be 1912 or so. Mom said it's just pre-war, just before the First War, I think maybe, or it might be during the First War. He was a battalion being sent to India to the front over there or something. I don't remember. And if it was her stepfather, it would be that. So it would be the generation before her. So he would have been a First World War era soldier, I believe.
Yeah. Dave should do an audiobook recording of this diary.
I certainly don't have the experience to I don't have the English accent. It has to be done in a Yorkshire accent, I guess. I don't know. So, get my mother to read it. She could do the accent, maybe.
She says, it was very interesting, but I think it may have been sanitized a little before letting his wife read it.
Oh, that's right. It was a letter to his wife. I remember that now. Yeah. To my dear wife. Blah, 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 blah.
So it's 50 pages all to his wife? Wow.
Mom could tell. It seemed the way I remember seeing it at home was it was a single long typescript. So what it may be is he may have written letters along the way, and this is now an accumulation of all letters typed into one piece, or maybe he had no chance to send mail.
Right.
Until
just typed it up as they
happened.
happened.
My mother could clear us up on this, but yes, so.
Wow.
And you think about a bunch of army guys go. I mean, there's no chance to fool around on the ship, but once you get to India, who knows what's going on? I don't know. So it's the things that he was willing to let his wife know about. I don't know.
Yikes.
But I don't know. I know there's what are you going to get up to? A bunch of army guys on a ship going around Africa. I don't think there's not a lot. There wouldn't have been much chance for drinking. There's no chance for fooling around with women. I mean, there's no what they're going to do. So I don't know. My mother says it's sanitized, but what trouble would the guy have been in?
Short leave? No, days.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know the details. I do remember being fascinated by it. I was a kid, and one day I guess I must have seen it in my mother's cupboard or something. What's this? And she sort of read it. And, Oh, cool. Yeah, my dear wife. It's a letter format. That's right. I'd forgotten about that. So there we are. Even the uneducated ones in our family, including me, can still produce useful content.
Yes. Those days, I think the ships had to visit a lot of ports for supplies, so there could have been chances there for trouble.
Maybe, but absolutely, maybe. What would it do? Going down Africa one side, up the other side, stopping in places like Kenya or whatever on the way up? I don't know. Stopping in Cape Town or whatever. Or get a new doctor to replace the one you lost. I think also there was they must have hit it like a hurricane or whatever they're called in the Indian Ocean, a cyclone. I think, I'm trying to remember what there was. There was some episode where it just days and days on end where the ship was water cascading over it, slip, and they think like, this is it. And there's wind, this might be it, guys. Because they don't know how big a typhoon is, in those days. All they know is, oops, weather looks not so good today.
There aren't radar images that you can check on your smartphone.
So, and the captain and people with experience sort of know, whoops, here it comes, this is going to be a big one, but nobody knows. And in fact, I think I remember reading, it just went on for days and days and days. And everybody thought, okay, this is it. We're pretty much cooked.
We're done, yeah.
We're done. It might be now on the website, that place she donated it to. What did she say? The Army Museum or something?
Yeah.
It might be available on their website. I don't know. I don't remember the guy's name to be able to look it up. This is my mother's side of the family, so it's not the bull. It's nothing to do with the bull side here.
Right. But if I remember right, the bull side was also involved in the military. Is that right? Your father didn't... Oh yeah, he was a musician in the military?
Oh yeah, no, my dad was my dad was the best possible age, the lucky age. I mean, he was born in 27. So the war started in 1939, the war against Germany. So he was 12 years old. Okay. So it was a relative time at that time. But it went on, and by the time he would have got to be... In fact, both he and my mother, they had to leave school. They went to work in a factory making uniforms and stuff like that. And then he got called up, and it was just, I guess it must have been 19... What age did he get called up? He was born in 27, so he would have been 16, 43, maybe 1944 or whatever. I don't know exactly. He would have been called up. So he went into uniform, but that's it, 1944. It's over in Europe.
Yeah.
It was over in Europe in autumn of 44. And then over in the Asia in 45. Yeah. So he didn't actually have to really fight. So.
Wow.
But he got called up, so he has technically service in the Royal Air Force. But he wasn't involved in any activity.
The main contact.
And then when the years go by, the next time there was activity, it would have been the Korean War. I guess the Brits did send some people, I'm not sure, or Suez or whatever. He was then out of that. So he was of a generation, just exactly right timing, that he never got involved in any military conflict. You know?
He was the right age between two wars.
Yes, so exactly, between whatever different wars were going on. I'm in the same situation, of course, because I'm Canadian. If I had been American, my generation is the Vietnam draft generation. And if I had lived 30 kilometers south of where I did in Vancouver, in America, I would have been drafted.
Yep.
Actually, there's a story about that on my story website. The records are on, there's a website showing how the draft worked in America during the Vietnam era. And it was a lottery. Every January the 1st or December 31st, whatever, they did a draft. They did a lottery. They put 365 balls into a sphere.
Okay.
With the date, January 1st, January 2nd, January 3rd, January 4th. And everybody who was eligible for the draft at a certain age was in one pool. There's the pool of people who get drafted. And the order they pulled them in was birth date based on that lottery that happened on January the 1st. And the year that my eligibility came up, the year that I would have been in the draft, had I been American, my number, November 11th, was, I think it was in the first 30 numbers. Wow. So I would have been drafted. And this is all online. There's a link to it through my story website. I would have been drafted. I would have been either, whatever, in the military, somehow sent to American jungles, sent to Vietnam in the jungles, and my body would be now moldering in some shallow grave, or
Yeah.
I would have got through it okay.
Yeah.
So, but because I lived in Canada, and the Canadian government at that time, the Americans said, come on, help us out with this thing. We're going to be in trouble together. They said, basically, they put the big finger up. The Prime Minister at that time said, your problem, not our problem.
Yeah.
You got yourself into this one. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Whatever the diplomatic words they used. But Canada said, stop
Nope.
off. Nope.
Yeah.
You're on your own on this one. So.
Got
Because
it.
America tried to get many other countries involved to help them with this.
No one would. Yeah.
Like I said, no one would, but Canada didn't.
Yeah.
And I didn't even really know this was going on at that time, you know. We saw the news, you know, CBS News, Walter Cronkite and Dan Rather, these guys, the nightly totals of people killed. And I didn't myself realize how close I had come to being part of that.
Part of it. Yeah.
But the Canadian government said, sorry. Because mine never came up.
Yeah. Well. Your mother added some more. She says that it says the trip from Saltburn to Rawalpindi was 13,756 miles, 8 weeks and 2 days.
She must have it in front of her there. She's
You
gone to the
must
closet
have
and
it.
pulled it out. Okay, good.
Wow,
good.
that was a
cool.
long trip. Now we can travel that in 8 hours, 2 minutes or less now. I guess not quite that far, but
But yeah, what an adventure. I'm so glad that's there, you know. So.
yeah.
Mom, if you're listening, can you tell me what his name was so that I can look this up? I can go on the website and try and look this up, because it's quite possible they've put some of these things online, that museum. Mm-hmm. Not only possible, it's quite probable now that some of these things are online. Yeah. What name would we be searching for? In fact, maybe the chat here can already even find it.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Give her a minute to get back.
So.
Everyone is listening intently. Because the chat has gone silent. They're just watching and listening.
At least I'm getting work done here, actually. So
Yeah.
good.
Getting some nice lines in.
We were saying earlier, this is my favorite kind of carving, just this smooth, beautiful, curving lines. You know.
Good morning.
Kawai-san, hello.
Kevin B, 1976 says, I own a Vietnam Zippo, which is a Zippo later owned and used by a soldier during the war. Still trying to contact him or his family to give it back, but sounds like haven't had any luck. Interesting. How do you trace down the previous owner of a lighter? I wonder.
Got a name on it, I guess.
Yeah. Ah, there's his name. Thomas Howard.
Thomas, I was going to guess it was Thomas. Thomas Howarth.
Howarth. Okay, is that how you say it? A Company, 2nd North Staff, Thursday, May 24th, 1917 is the date,
All
too.
right. Hey, thanks, Mom. We'll have a look and see if it's online. Do some searching if that museum has put it up. You know, I don't know. They may be flooded with such kind of materials and can't do this, or maybe they've tried to put them all online. I don't know.
Suga-san didn't draft you for more color printing photos today? Oh, she did. As soon as we wrap up, I'll be up there for more pictures and video.
What's the deal? Have we started editing on that, or are you going to wait till it's all in the can, or what's the schedule? Or we
Just
until
a
we've got
little
the
bit.
stuff to do, you know?
I'm ordering things and naming them, throwing away the footage that's not usable and choosing which ones. So getting a little bit of progress, but it's not trimmed and put together yet. Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello. Let's see. Where'd it go?
河合さんどうでしょう？暑さ、エアコン入れた方がいい？自然がいい？今日ちょっと暑くなるかな？
暑くなるかもしれない。ちょっとこう昨日よりはちょっと暑い感じです。
じゃあ自分で考えてください。
最初にちょっと換気して、はい。あとお客さんが来る前にやっております。
88 Uncle Ernie jumps in and says, it took about 2 weeks for me to get from San Francisco to Vietnam. So a little faster than
What is
the
this, a
other
cruise
guy,
ship? Is
but
this? And what's
I'm curious. Yeah.
Well, it couldn't be an airplane, obviously.
No, that would be slow. Someone asked, was Dave ever a musician, and is your music available anywhere for them to listen to? I think on woodblock.com, don't you have some of that?
There is some stuff there. I know. Was I a
explore.
musician? I was a would-be musician. I basically failed at it. I tried as a youngster. Classical flute first. Got fairly good at it. None of that is available because there was no YouTube or recordings. I didn't put commercial recording that far. The peak of my career was I got an appearance with an orchestra in London to do a Mozart flute concerto. That was sort of the peak of my career. That wasn't recorded or anything. Then the music that I did back in Vancouver, I worked in a hotel orchestra for a year or so. I was a professional in that sense. I was getting paid for it. I was, doing it and member of the musicians union and stuff like that. But I wasn't really inherently any good at it. Just year by year, it became less. It became obvious to me that this wasn't really the way to go forward in life because I really wasn't naturally good at it. So after I sort of quit trying to be a professional at it and just let it go and work for the music store as a manager, during those years, I played with an amateur, what would you call it? They used to call it stage bands. What do you call it? You used to play alto sax, right?
Yeah.
What do you call it?
High school.
It wasn't a dance band, that era gone. Was it the jazz band? What do you call it? But we didn't
big
all
band.
big band. Yeah, big band.
Okay.
So I played with an amateur big band, and we made a couple of recordings. Sponsored, hobby recordings. This is not for Capitol Records or whatever.
Yeah.
This is, a hobby recording. And I got one of those. It's on my website somewhere. It's on. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. If you remind me tomorrow, I'll look it up sometime tonight and put it in chat tomorrow or something. Oh, there's no chat tomorrow.
The next day. Someone go look around on woodblock.com right now.
No.
You got 9 minutes.
Where it is? Okay, how do we search for this? If you do a Google search for, well, let me find it. It's okay. It's fast. It's hidden in a sub-website of a sub-website of a sub-website. I put it up because my dad had said, because he never heard me do this.
Right.
I said, yeah, Dad, I actually did. I played baritone sax in a big band.
Yeah.
He looks at me over his glasses, and
Dad,
I did. I did. It wasn't any good by your standards, but I did do it.
Yeah.
So it's this cassette. We didn't do LPs. We did cassettes, and I've got it. There's the. Let me find it. What are you going to search for? Just a minute here. Here it is. I have found it. We had a family blog a while back when I was living in Japan. My mother and father were in England. My brother was in Thailand, stuff like that. I think I can link this. It wasn't really meant for public. It was just a family blog. So there's nothing that's anybody else would be interested in, but there's nothing else that we have to hide either. And on one of the pages of the blog, I linked, and this was for my dad to hear. I put a link to this thing. Now this was in the old. This is Flash. I think it's a Flash media player that's in this page.
And it's copied from a cassette.
It's copied from a cassette, and I have no copyright on this. These are whatever our band played it, so that the cassette itself has no phono copyright on it, but the tunes have some copyright. So I can't put this up on the internet in an open way.
Yeah.
But there it is, and I'm on that cassette. I'm playing baritone sax and bass clarinet. The flute you hear is not me. It was 5 saxes all doubling and different stuff. And the first tune, we play it too fast, and it's a bunch of amateurs.
Yeah.
And a professional hearing this would say, "Oh my God, the baritone is late to that entrance," and stuff like this. But it's there. This is me honking away on baritone sax on that thing.
Cool.
And there's a couple of places in some of the tunes where you could use a little bass clarinet solo. I don't mean the jazz solo, but I mean, there's a bass line coming in. The piano bass plays, and the bass trombone comes in. The bass clarinet comes in. Boop 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 boop. And when I did play this for my dad, he's like, well,
not too bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
cool. The man who took 2 weeks to get across the Pacific, aircraft carrier. So
Soka.
Yep. Those are big ships.
I wouldn't have thought they'd use an aircraft carrier as a troop transport, but I guess what he was.
You've got to get it across there somehow, I guess. the guy with the lighter says, haven't had any luck because there's no name or initials.
Well, then you're...
The only information on it is the logo of the U.S. Special Forces and the year the soldiers served, 68 and 69.
Special Forces? Well, I think that's going to be a bit difficult to find information.
Yeah. Darn. Sleeping is put on hold for music. Just a minute before I said, it's 2:20 a.m. Sweden's going to bed.
Leave it. It's an amateur band honking their way through some amateur stuff. Don't sweat this. Whatever. You can't control yourself better than that, Save it for tomorrow. Are you the marshmallow test, remember? You have 1 marshmallow now or 2 marshmallows tomorrow. Save it. Yeah. But what I really would love is some YouTube, whatever, of when I was a flutist, because I was really getting pretty good at that.
Yeah.
Raw Canadian to go to London, blang, and then within weeks I was on the stage doing a Mozart flute concerto with the orchestra. I mean, give me a break,
It's pretty cool.
I'd love to hear that.
Yeah.
There's boxes in Ome that I'm not sure I should either burn them or whatever, I was into composition and they were so bad, I was going to be a classical composer, I did arrangements for our school band first and tried to do some stuff. We did a TV theme, our woodwind quintet was commissioned to write a little thing for a TV theme song that played for years.
Oh, fun.
And I actually won a scholarship at one point, a composition scholarship.
Huh.
So there's some manuscript stuff in boxes in the bottom of Ome, if they're not all moldy by now. And it's at the top, there's the manuscript, winner of the scholarship, blah, blah, the Jean Coulthard Scholarship, 1968 or whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
But if we played them now, my God, they would be so infantile and amateur and childish, because it was the kid at the beginning of what could be a career.
Right.
When he was just doing experiments and exploring and being
Yeah.
amateur at it, and then never continuing. So we don't have the chance to hear the better stuff that he would develop into,
Right.
It's the whatever.
Yeah.
It's the baby feet stage,
Yeah.
So I'm in no hurry to dig those boxes out right now at all. But it was a start. If I'd stayed on that track, I suppose I would have got better at it, same as anything. There's just not enough room in life to do all those things,
Jumping back to your comparison to the marshmallow test, Ken Hallett says, the only problem is it doesn't sound like there will be 2 marshmallows tomorrow. Yes,
Okay, so
well-rested body and the music.
No, but I mean, I agree with it. It wasn't a good analogy. I was just trying to say, have patience and save something for later, is all I was trying to say. But it was a bad analogy. So there won't be 2 cassettes tomorrow. There'll just be 1. So sorry about that. Yeah, have 1 now or have 1 tomorrow. I get that. Okay. Sorry about that. It is getting warmer today. It's going to be actually a hot day, It's going to be one of those still hot days, and there's no breeze. Yesterday we had quite a nice breeze, and that's what made it bearable. So today's probably the same temperature with no breeze.
Yeah. But the bike ride in was nice and cool. Because the morning was cool.
Yes,
but...
and out there too, away from the city.
Yeah.
So it might be a bit of a sweltering one today. We'll see.
The exception to the rule is, why just buy 1 wood block print today when you can buy them all tomorrow? Oh no.
Oh, wait. How does that work?
Yeah. Gotta get to Ome to pick up props for your next videos and get a few snapshots of those composition
So the way I'm
sheets.
thinking, no, I won't do that.
No, I won't do that.
No, I mean, no, I'm not being sarcastic. I got enough on my plate right now. And I'm thinking I might leave for Ome tonight.
Oh, cool.
And or whatever, because that'll be rush hour. Whatever, tonight or tomorrow. I might actually go out there.
Tonight or tomorrow morning.
The last few days in the shop evening has been not so busy, so I think we'll close Tuesday. I'm going to take all these props back from the last video and get the next set for the new video. And it's going to take me a while, because some of the letter from Adachi and stuff, it's going to take me a lot of digging to find this stuff. So. And some of them I may not be able to find, but So that might be the plan. I might go out there Tuesday to do that.
Great.
And if I do that, then plan the video during the week, and then the Tuesday after that might be the next video. I don't know. Well, I shouldn't think a lot because it just leads to disappointment. But yeah, it won't be 2 months before we get to part 2 of that video. Oh, also, Cameron, the comments on the video.
They're still positive, right?
Yeah, they're positive.
Okay, good.
Positive. But there was one comment that came in yesterday, and I showed it to a couple of Nakamura-san, and we thought we were going to have to call an ambulance. She started choking. She's laughing so hard.
Oh no!
She caught her throat and started choking. And like I'm not going to grab her and her chest and do this and squeeze and she came out of it. It was okay. But she read this comment, and I got to be careful not to show people these comments because it nearly killed her. It was so funny. I mean, when I saw it, I'm just, what is this person thinking? But I showed it to her, and she just couldn't stop freaking laughing. Let me find it here. I'm not being sarcastic. I love the comments. There's happy comments coming. It's wonderful. I got no complaint. 99.999.
Sakura Connection, David Bull.
Yeah, that's me. That's years and years and years ago. That's in Canada. That's one of the Canadian trips I did. And then somebody videoed the talk or something. This was yesterday morning's comment, so it's going to be. Just give me a second. Sorry to play with you here. I should be. It's 9:30. I'm supposed to be finished this, but just this comment. I should be careful. You have an ambulance nearby. Here, have you seen this one? Look at this.
Seriously?
I didn't make it up. It's there. It's not a bot. Can I paste this in? I'll put it in quotation marks here. Quotation marks. Thank you. Quotation marks. So here it is. This was a comment on the video, the beginnings video yesterday.
That's too funny.
And she's like, here I am.
Where can I purchase
I'm a
these?
fashion leader. She just about. Actually, she just about died after laughing after seeing this. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm sorry. Maybe even the person who did the comment is here. I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I'm happy that people are happy. I'm happy to have nice comments. But sometimes now and then I get kind of surprised. And all I can say is maybe it's supposed to be. People have two or three windows open and tabs open in their browser.
Got the wrong one.
And it's the wrong one. So.
Oh, that is great.
And I got to send that to my mother. I want my mother's here. She's
Yeah,
singing. Did you see this, Mom? Did you see this?
Oh man.
Actually, she's probably not lying on the floor choking.
Be careful.
I should have warned her. So, how did your mom die? Well, it's a long story.
YouTube.
So, sorry about that.
Oh man.
We had a good day with Nakamura-san yesterday. I wish he'd come more than one day.
Yeah.
There was a customer here who asked for prints to be shipped.
Okay.
Back to Britain. Yeah. No problem. So we do this. We do who's the person in your family who can write the neatest writing, and they joke about this, and one person wrote it down. And then as they wrote it, I sort of read it over their shoulder. Looks like we got it. Okay. They pay. We've got the package ready. They leave. They go down the street. So we're getting the address label ready, and oops, I can't read. Is this a 1 or is this a 7?
Oh no.
The address is like 41 such and such street. So the name is there, the streets are. We can't see it's 41 or 47 because it's a 1 with one of those little things at the top.
Yeah.
And here we are, and we go outside quickly. No, the person's gone. What are we gonna do? So Nakamura said, "What are you gonna do?" So I said, "Okay, well let's go to Google." So what do you mean? So I said, "No, we type in the name and address into Google and see. It just might be there. The information is pretty open." And the name was there. And the street was there without a number. And it turned out the young lady who lived there, they're flatmates living together, and she was advertising for another person to come and stay. So they had a Google link to it that went to the street, but without identifying the building.
Got it.
Because they knew the privacy of the street.
Right.
So we do the little Google man walking. We're in the Google car looking at the buildings.
Where's the 41?
We're on the right street. And we get to 37, and it jumps to 39. And then the next building is overgrown with bushes, and you can't see the number on the door because the people haven't taken care of their garden.
Yeah.
I said, that's probably it, because look, we know these are students. We saw from this web post. They're looking for somebody else to share their house.
Yeah.
These are students. They don't do their gardening. And we click down. Next one's 43, and the next one is 44, an even number. Then the next one is a wall, and it doesn't continue. So, bingo, that's enough evidence for me. This is 41. There's students living there.
Yeah.
There is no 47. Bang, bang, bang. I start writing the address label. And Nakamura-san looks at me like I am God. She's watched like these CIS TV programs because we had to go not enhance. We did the enhance.
Yeah.
I blew it up to try and see the house number, which you couldn't see at first.
Right.
And there it is. It's 39 is blurred. See, it says 39. You know.
Yeah.
And she looked at me as though we had just done a recreation of some TV program.
Some
She
crime
never
drama.
thought about doing this, and we
That's
did.
so funny.
We went to Google, we zoomed around, we enhanced, and we found the data we needed, and bang, out goes the package.
Yeah.
So she had a really good day yesterday. So.
Ohayou gozaimasu.
Oh, it's the Doi gang. Hello, hello. Good morning, guys. Doi-san, good news and bad news. There's tons of mail today, postage. It was a busy weekend.
Oh, okay.
So we need 6 people to carry it all to the post office.
Oh,
Well, not 6, but whatever.
oh, it's great, great.
So it's been a good few days. Whoops. And
Great
there's
wave
another
information
wave
requests.
flooding over. So, and there has been a lot of those. It's been a good weekend, Doi-san. It's been really nice. Lots of fun people in, lots of parties.
Okay, good.
I know. I wrote to you during the week about the Doi things that have sold, so you could give them in advance. Yesterday, a couple more sold, so I didn't have time to catch up.
Yeah,
Another Nuet is gone.
Yeah, okay.
So we can catch up to that.
So I think today.
He's coming today?
I mean, I think afternoon, and the husband will be coming
Make
down
another
and
delivery. Okay.
So we're gonna. I mean,
Yeah, talk about the
negotiate with
returns.
the
Yes.
return.
Okay, good. That's why I sent you the mail, because if we don't do that, it takes another 2 or 3
Yeah,
weeks.
that's
so,
right.
yeah.
That's right.
I think they'll be happy this month again.
Yeah, I think so. Now, so far, eight prints is already
From their catalog this
sold,
month.
Yeah.
So good.
So maybe
They'll be happy.
more than 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This year. So that one of my friends from Nishinomiya will come down. So and then maybe I'd like to introduce this.
Of course.
And then maybe
Go for lunch or something, or whatever.
Yeah, and then go and then maybe late afternoon. I'll go down to the Asaka-san's place.
Okay.
I get the appointment.
All right, no problem. Take your time. I mean,
So-
I'm here. I'll cover today. We've got Osmo-san and Kawai-san are here. Parties are light, so no
I
problem.
think today
problem.
party two.
There's 2. It's light, yeah. So no problem. So make your own schedule. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Okay. So of course I'll take care for the Doi Hangatens,
Oh, wait for him. Okay.
So,
All right.
Okay.
Other than that, please don't worry. Take your own schedule.
Okay.
It's
Thank
really
you.
hot out there, so please be careful, eh?
Okay.
It's going to be hot today. Satori HS says, we need to like that dress shirt comment on YouTube. Get it to the top of the comments.
Have I made a mistake by talking about it? I don't know. So,
Sounds like quite a few people are in on it already. David Bull, woodcarver, musician, detective.
fashion leader.
And fashion leader. Don't forget that one.
What's the label? It
Fashionista.
probably says Uniqlo or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
Can't see.
Whatever. It's
yeah.
nothing. It's just a shirt.
Just a shirt.
We've talked about. I have 3 shirts at the moment. I have 3 shirts and 3 shorts. Oh, that reminds me. I did laundry this morning, but I haven't taken it out.
Okay.
So please don't let me forget. As soon as
Okay.
this is done, I have to go up and take it out.
Great. And I'll be headed up with the tripod too. So.
Yeah. Well, I'll take it out. I'll do it myself, but I have to remember to do it. And this morning's shower, it was earlier than water was. It's getting cold.
Uh-oh.
It's going to be a hot day, but the water in the pipes was
Night was not hot,
Yeah.
so
So whatever.
obviously not just a shirt.
Life is just so much fun, Just you can't plan these things. You can't expect. You just whatever. Just do stuff and whatever.
Person tried to say it's not just a shirt; it's a fashion statement, but left out the R. In shirt on accident.
Well, actually, that reminds me. I'm getting a bit of blowback for this. There was another comment just this morning. It said, "Again, David is swearing again in these videos."
Huh.
And I guess I actually did. At some point, we were talking about the.
You
the
murmured
Okada
through
Yoshi.
something.
I murmured through
Yeah.
my hand. I think the S word.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really trying to swear outward to the camera.
Right.
To me, profanity, it's funny. There's the people who put the F word 6 times into every sentence, whatever. And
Yeah.
it's sort of not so pleasant to listen to.
Yeah.
That's meaning. But profanity as a, what's the word I'm trying to find here? Profanity as a,
Seasoning? No.
no. Emphasis. There's something is really, really, really.
Yeah.
You put the bad word in there to emphasize how much you really believe something is true. I think that one that slipped out in the video was of that type. I'm now in trouble because I really
Yeah.
thought I was in trouble with this.
Right.
And that tiny little profanity, which is not really grotesque to make people cover and run and cover their
Yeah.
ears. You know, I mean, the S word now, whatever, it's on
Pretty
TV all the time.
commonplace.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
on TV all the time. So I don't think my YouTube channel is going to get shut down because of this.
No. No, people
the
say a
comment
lot
was
worse
there.
on YouTube. I think.
Yeah, people do, but I guess the mood that I've presented is not of a person who, you know, F-bombs every second
Yeah.
time. So maybe this is a really interesting situation because I don't swear as every second sentence. When I do let one slip out, it becomes a sort of event, and
thing,
that's the
yeah.
point. That's what swear words are for the absolute emphasis when you are really trying to get a point across.
Yeah.
So I think I'm perhaps okay on this, and I think I'm perhaps right. My mother may disagree. Any usage of profanity, maybe in her usage, is not so good. And maybe, of course, in your circles, in your church group, and in your family, you would
Yeah.
not swear yourself. You're not that kind of guy.
Yeah, but that's,
Whatever, you know.
maybe an F-bomb video would be good. Maybe.
No, thank you. Maybe
That's not what
maybe
you're
maybe
looking
not,
for.
maybe not. I know. I get occasionally somebody would ask me, Dave, do a blooper reel, because obviously because of the videos I make, there is a blooper reel. Actually, there aren't, because I just delete them. You know, same as you've done with Suicide videos. We don't have enough storage, so you use the ones you're using and you delete the rest.
Yeah.
So I don't have them here, but yeah, there's a blooper reel. One is hilarious. When I did the warm up to the video about Ito-san, I reached out to pick up something and I missed it and I clipped it. It flipped and banged something else and the whole table fell over and I looked at the camera and thought, I think we might have to do a retake. You know, and I should have kept it.
Oh,
but I
that would be
didn't.
funny.
I didn't. Sugi-san, sorry to ignore you.
スキャンします。
Oh, scanning time. Okay, Cameron, you gotta go.
I will see
Check
you
out.
later.
We're late. Anyway, give me back the camera here. Cameron is getting back to work now with Sugi-san. We have talked too much.
We will see you later. Thanks a lot.
We've talked too much. What time is it?
40, I think.
Oh my God, 40. Yeah. Okay. Hello again, Sugi-san. I haven't finished carving. Okay, today is Monday. Tuesday there will be no stream. I will be out of here. Oh, you got he's waiting for the tripod. I have to wrap up. Okay, reach your hand out and grab this thing. There he goes. He wants the tripod. Okay, signing off. See you on Wednesday. See you on Wednesday morning. I don't know where from. Upstairs, downstairs. Who knows? Thank you very much. See you soon. Signing off. First, I'm at the camera. Off. Oops, what did I do? Off. Hot mic, ready. Let's turn this off. Bye-bye.